Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. Thank you for joining me today. Before we get started, the housekeeping notes, all the product I'm using and all the dimensions will be listed below. There's a link to my online store if you wish to purchase any of these products. There's a link to our Facebook group. We love to have you join that. You'll also find my email address if you have any questions. And finally, remember to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube and help me grow in YouTube world. This is a stamp set called Frozen Edges. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And so we're going to be using that. I'm going to show you the other stamp sets we're pulling in. We're pulling in actually two more for a couple reasons. This one we're going to be using is the main focal point. But I wanted this first. Christmas is better together, because we're going to have this on the front of the card and snuggle up and hope for snow on the inside of the card. So we're using that one. And then from Snowy Wonder has this beautiful snowflake here and a die that cuts it out. And we're going to be using that one along with this snowflake that has one to cut out. And I'm not going to make one of these. I'm just going to show them to you. Hang on. This is this one here. And get that so you can see it. It's all embossed in silver, and then this one's embossed in silver. I'm not going to do all of them because I've already done them, because you need between 8 and 10 of these to do this card. So I did that. And then in this set also is a little die. We'll talk about these here first. And this set has 3 dies. Little snowflakes. So we have this snowflake and these 3. I have already cut out a lot of snowflakes. There is a white, I cut them all in different shapes and sizes. This is white glimmer paper. And it's beautiful paper. And it's in a set. And it comes with Berry Burst and Old Olive and white. So that's this set. Now, I did that all in white for this card. I'm just showing you some of the stuff I've done ahead of time. You need equal amount of those. So you need about, this one you need about 15. And then I also die cut these out of silver. And these are out of silver glimmer paper. Now I know we do not have any glimmer paper at this time, but you could use the silver foil paper as well. I happen to have a lot. I had bought a couple packages of the gold last year because I always like to keep gold and silver on hand. And so that's what I did. And there's about 10 of these of different shapes of these snowflakes. So I have pre-cut and embossed all of those snowflakes for us ahead of time. And you're saying, why? I'm going to put these back in the case right now since I don't need them and I don't want to lose them. And I'm going to grab the one that goes back in this case. I'm just doing this right now while I'm thinking about it. And then this one and this one came out of here. So I pulled in a couple sets, but you could do it all with this set. But I wanted the verse and I wanted that extra snowflake. And you're saying, what are we making? Well, I want to show you one die here before I show you this. It's this die here. Isn't it beautiful? It cuts snowflakes. There's also one, this stamps, but it doesn't cut out this one. This just makes ice going down. And this one, you can stamp the ice, but they don't, this one does not go with the other one. They don't cut out each other. And then there's this beautiful cluster and a couple of sayings. So very nice set. So the card, you're saying, what is she making? Well, here is the envelope. Just stamp with something. And here is the card. And it's very sparkly and very shiny, as you can tell. And so it has a lot of snowflakes on it. And some bling. This is all embossed. And on the inside, this is all embossed. That's the card we're going to make. It's pretty easy. It's just time consuming to cut all the pieces out. I was showing you embossing on other parts. I figured you could probably figure out how to stamp and do the snowflakes individually without that. So this is the card we're going to make. So we're going to start with stamping. we're going to need our envelope. Now the envelope is not embossed. Just an FYI, if you emboss your envelope, you might get away with it. I have set ones with embossing on before and got it kicked back. So you might want to think about that. So for our general embossing, hang on, there should be another piece of paper here. I just cut it, I know this. Well, I'll grab this one. You need a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. We need our envelope, and we need other scrap. This is not the scrap I had cut out, but we'll use it. And a scrap of white to do a verse that we're going to be cutting out with this die from Stylish Shapes. It's the middle, third one in from the largest. So let's stamp what does not need embossed. And that, I'm going to just grab a piece of paper here. So I'm going to go off the edge a little bit on this. And I'm using Blueberry Bushel with this. And I'm going to stamp this right in the corner. That's the only thing not embossed on this one. So I'll set that off to the side. And I will grab my scrubby, which was here a few minutes ago and has grown legs. Does anybody else do that? They have something out and then it disappears. Well, I'll use this time. This will work. I don't know what happened. I literally just got it wet and it grew legs. The cats probably moved it. Who knows? Oh, I don't think the cats moved it. Okay. So first we're going to do the silver embossing. I'm going to put this blue away for a few minutes. And we are going to be embossing this snowflake in the bottom with silver. So I have my Versamark. I've got my silver embossing powder and my little buddy here. And I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing because we're going to emboss on the top of it too in blue. So I'm going to ink this up with Versamark. And I'm doing it this way because that's it. This image is almost bigger than my stamp pad, so ink pad. So, and I'm going to just part this off into the corner, about like that. And move that out of the way. Make sure everything's all closed before I put the silver on it. And then we have our silver embossing. And that's for, and then you would do the snowflakes out of the same. And then I'm going to heat that up with my heat tool. Let it get warm for just a second. And here comes the magic. I think embossing Christmas cards is really nice. I like embossing any time of the year, but Christmas cards, most definitely. The next thing we're going to stamp is Snuggle Up and Hope for Snow. And we're going to do that out of Blueberry Bushel clear ink. So what you're going to do first, anytime you want to do a color, you go into your Versamark first. Make sure your stamp is clean. Go into your Versamark, go into your color, stamp it, and it will look a little lighter than the color normally does, but that's okay. I've got a little piece here I'm going to pull out. this is my clear. Make sure I got it good and covered. Tap it off. Now that can sit for just a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. I like to do them individually. I don't want to wait. And we'll watch the magic happen on here. So now we have blue embossing. You can see how shiny and raised it is. So that's the inside of our card. And then we need one more piece. And I don't need that. I'm going to grab this one here that says Christmas is better together. Grab my ink. I always, when I get my powder out, I always close and make sure all my ink is closed, because one thing that can ruin your ink pads is embossing. So I'm going to go into my Versamark. I'm going to go in to here. Make sure I've left plenty of room. It's upside down. It does not matter. Close these up real quick. Grab my little sheet again. Put this on here. Tap it off. And if you have the little tray, you can use it. I did have one. I have it somewhere. I just haven't found it. It grew legs, or I got left at a class somewhere. Who knows? And heat gun again. When you're using a heat gun, make sure everything is melted, but don't overheat it or the stuff will actually start peeling. So we have that, and it's ready to be die cut. So let me get this embossing stuff out of my way. So we are all done stamping. Now we're going to do some die cutting. I gotta tell you, every time I look around the room to grab something, I'm like, where is my Stampin' scrub gone? I literally don't know where it went to. All right, this is a circle. So like I said, it was stamped upside down. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna grab a little bit of tape here to make sure I hold it where I want it. This is just 3M Post-it tape. It works pretty good. You know, I've been trying lots of different things, and this one seems to work the best. Painter tape's not, it's okay. Purple tape's okay. But I like this one. And there is our beautiful sentiment for the front. I'll leave those there because we're going to need those. The next thing we need is we need 2 pieces of paper. One is the white glimmer and one is white. Now, if you don't have the glimmer, you could just use white. And these are 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. And we're going to be using this nice big sentiment, which I just realized there's a piece there, big die. So what I want to do is, one I'm going to start at this end, and one I'm going to start is at this end, because it's a, hold it up. I'm going to start this one at this end, and then the white one I'll start, so it's like this. So I've got a little offset going when I lay it on my card. And I'm going out here as far as I can, so it's straight, about like that. I want to get it as straight as possible. And then you're going to die cut. Now, I'm going to tell you the glimmer paper, you are going to want to go at least 4 times to get all the detail cut out on this. That's 1. This is going to be 2. And this is going to be 3. It's getting easier now. And we're going to check it after 4 to see if we've cut all the way through all of the detail before we take the die off. I'm going to look at that, and that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to set this to the side, and I'm going to grab my little scrubby pad here. You've all seen me use this before. When you take this off, be very gentle, because there's some tiny pieces in here. And if it gets caught right on the edge, you can just either pull if it's tiny or snip it there. So I don't know if I can, no, not much to get rid out of that. And then when you pull this side, like I said, be very gentle. Now we will need to clean this up before we can use it again, but there's not a lot that pops out of this, a lot of little stuff. You guys heard a lot of noise. We've got, for some reason, have a lot of helicopters and planes flying over our house at the moment. We usually have a lot of planes because I'm right across from the airport. But these don't pop out on the inside. You just got a few pieces that do. But they do move. Some of them move a little bit. So you get a little like this. They don't necessarily pop out. I'm flipping the back side over because I can tell what pops out easier from the back side. Right there. So that's the white one. Very pretty. Now we need to clean this one up. And it just takes a minute to do it. I wouldn't make you watch me do this, but we do have to take and have this clean to do the next one. So the next one I'll do after the fact. This is when this little brush thing comes in so handy. But you do need to make sure it's all cleaned out. You know, I'm doing this without glasses. You know, if I put my glasses on, I probably could see in, oh my gosh, I can see so much better. Okay, so let me pick some of this up here. Let's do the white one. White one's same size. And like I said, all the dimensions are going to be listed below. Now, I set this off the top, this edge this time. I'm going off the bottom edge this time. This will give it offset on the card just a little bit. Make sure that's nice and flush. And making sure it's flush here and not going over this edge, but right up to it. Okay, and we have one more thing to die cut, so let's just set this in over here. Oh, I already die cut that. We're done die cutting. I thought we had one more. We're done. Now let's get the white one. Oop. Actually, I'm going to take this one. It's just going to do it this way. It might be a little easier. But just like the glimmer paper, it's small pieces, so you do need to be careful when you're doing this. If you notice, I just ran this one twice, and it was fine. But the glimmer paper's thicker, so you need a little more care. Just be careful lifting this off. You notice I'm stuck here a little bit, so I need to see where I'm stuck. There we go. So, and I see a couple pieces that are not popped out yet. And that seems to be it. Oh, one more. So that's that. It's beautiful. And I will finish cleaning all that up later. And then I can just take it out to the kitchen garbage, not into my recycle bin in here. and toss that in with garbage so it doesn't get messy. Messier than it already is. But messy's good. So let's build this card. First, we need a piece of Blueberry Bushel that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Give that a good crease. I'm going to go ahead and put the inside in first, since it is done. Oop, wrong way. Okay, so that's the inside of the card. Now we need a piece of DSP, and this is from the Winter Meadow. It carried over from last Christmas, and this paper, this Blueberry Bushel, looks sort of like ice crystals, and we're going to put this here and even it up. It doesn't even up. This one goes right to the full length. There's no border on the front of this. How do you think about that? There's no border. So this piece is what? 3 by 5.5. Put that on there. I'm going to push it down this way and this way to make sure I've got it sealed just like that. Next, you're going to put on, last time, I was curious. Last time I put the white on. I'm still doing it this way. You're going to put this glimmer paper on. Now, if you notice, I wanted to get as much, use as little bit, I wanted to use as little glimmer paper as possible because it's hard to come by and it's more expensive than cardstock. So what I want to do is I want to put this so it's about a 1/2 inch from this side. About like that. You line this up straight at the bottom and the top. Now I'm going to put glue here on this bigger area. And then just in here, I'm just going to put little dots in some of the opener areas. I'm like right there. I'm not doing a lot, just a little bit on the sides here where we know it wants to stick down. But just doing a few dots here and there. And about a 1/2 inch, roughly. It goes clear from the bottom to the top. And if I measured everything right, that's how it goes. Very pretty, isn't it? And it looks like I have, what here? I have a little piece of white paper that decided to jump in. Now the white one is going to go clear to the edge over here. And you notice we staggered these. So they're off just a little bit from where the other one was. The same thing, not using a ton of glue, just a little bit on the sides, a few dots here and there. You won't put too much because it'll make a mess on your glimmer paper too, but you do need a little bit. I think that should be enough. We're going to have a lot of other things on here to hold this down. Now this one goes from the end and clear over to this side. So that's what we have so far. There's other stuff going on here, so it will hold up. Now, here is my embossed snowflakes. And this is you could, if you didn't want to do snowflakes, you could just take silver paper and put it on there. Or silver snowflakes, but I like the combination of the two. I liked when you looked at it. I don't know if you can see on the camera. You can see the texture difference as it goes through. And it does take a minute for the glue to adhere to the glimmer paper. But what we're going to start here is I'm going to start with, there's 2 different types of silver. So I'm going to start here, put a little glue on this one. and start at this corner. And yes, I'm going over the sides. That's okay. And then the silver paper is a sticky, so I don't have to worry about anything. And it's just going to go over like that. And so I used this one here, so I want to use a silver piece, but not the same one I just did. There's a different silver piece. I'm rotating, and I'm not going to put them quite as heavy as I did on the first one. I thought a little looser would be easier. Let's grab this one here. I thought less might be better, so we're trying less. Just making a little pattern here. Embossed silver. And make sure I grab a different design here. Yeah, this is the one I haven't used. So we are going to go back to this one. And this one I did lose the glue on. The paper came off and I had to put some powder on it. So I'm just going to put a little glue in each of these spots to help hold it together. And put that one there. And then we're going to go to this one here. Like I said, I got the sticky, I'm going to use it. And then we need the full snowflake here. And I'm going to go under a little bit. And I'm just making a pattern going down. And then this one is going to be this one here. Whoop. My fingers are sticky. And this is one here. Yeah, glimmer papers are one of those things when we do get them, I tend to buy a little more than I'm going to need because I like it for, you know, other times. And this year, I don't know why they did not put out glimmer paper, but they did not. So not in silver and gold, which was rather disappointing to me, but yeah, we'll tuck this one in here. Oh, I gotta get him back a little bit. I got that one over a little further. And then back to this style. And then I need, let's grab this bigger one here. And then we're going to get another one. I'm going to grab, I guess we're going to use this one because that's the last silver one I have. And he's going to be hanging off the side too. That's okay. And then this one. Okay. If you bear with me for a minute, I have a lot of glue on my fingers. And I need to get some of it off my fingers really bad. So if you didn't want yours that busy with that many snowflakes or that many, you could just do all white. You could do silver. You could use foil. You know, it's whatever you want to do. But I thought this looked rather cool this way. And then I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to grab my snips. I'm going to use the card as my guide. And snip these all off. And definitely got to clean the scissors after I film. Now, after you see this video, if it's too dark, you need to let me know. I am trying to film at night. When I'm filming this, it's dark out, and I've got every light on in the room. But I don't know how it's going to be when it comes out to you. I think it'll be fine. I usually don't film at night, but I did get some more lighting, so I'm hoping that was enough. So now we have this piece. I'm just disposing of some backings and some pieces here. Okay, next we need to put in some of our little white ones and our saying. We're going to put our saying on first. And I know I cut it out. There it is. I'm going to grab some dimensionals. And I'm going to grab some mini dimensionals while I'm at it. And let's see here. I want to make sure he's kept in. We're going to go about right like that. Okay. And then we have all of our white snowflakes. Oh, I guess I wasn't out of silver. That's okay. I'll use them later. Now we have white. So what I want to do is I want to lay out some snowflakes of the white ones across here to go on top of the silver. And I want more of the bigger ones than the smaller ones. And I'm going to put on the, I put 4. So we'll put 4 of that like that across there. I know it's hard to see. There's probably a lot of glare on this. I will hold it up. This is where the mini dimensionals come into play. So the mini will fit right in the center of this one. I'll try to space these out as evenly as I can. Do the ends and then come back and do 2 centers. This is the card you make for someone special. It is a little on the time-consuming side. But I'm sure you all have somebody special that deserves to have a beautiful card. This one is thick. It will need additional postage. I would actually put another piece of cardstock over the front of this to protect it in the mail. Just a mail warning. Okay. I'm going to go, before I put the rest of that on, I'm going to grab and put on a bow ribbon. I brought out the silver and white ribbon because I thought this would be just perfect to go with this, because it actually looks like it's embossed on the side. Yeah. My fingers are not working tonight, though. Shasta, leave that alone. You know, I joked about the kittens taking that my scrubber, but it's probably not that far off. They have shown up with the strangest things in the living room. About a week ago, they brought a big bag, about this big, about this tall, of yarn, which is not heavy, but they drug it all the way from the back bedroom clear to the living room. And then they proceeded to open up the bag and play with the yarn, of course. They're quite resourceful. And then I'm going to use, you could get away with one, but I'm going to put 2 little glue dots here to hold that ribbon on. Well, I just flung the glue dot somewhere. I think it's stuck to my sweatpants. Oh, no, there it is. And I'm going to put that right about here. It's very pretty. And then we're going to go back to our dimensionals now. And we're going to put a few of these up around the saying. I'll put one here so it's hanging over. And make sure I don't grab the same style, since I do have 4 styles of these. that one there. And I'm just looking at what I've got here. Let's put this one here. Now, I am sticking a dimensional in the middle of this. It is so, the hole is so small there that you can't really tell when you're up against this piece here. And I found it was just suitable to do that. So, all right, we need to put a couple more on. I think I put 5 out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is what I did. I'll put one more about there. Out in this space here. And I'm going to put a big one right here. We're just about done with this video. I'm hoping you're enjoying this one. I think it's really pretty. You know, it's for that special person. So we have all the snowflakes on. And then, if it's not got enough bling on it this way, as you can tell, it's very, very shiny. I grabbed the Drusy Adhesive-Backed. And I'm going to put a nice big one right about there. I'm going to put a big one here and a littler one right about there. Like I said, if it's not blinged out enough, we'll put a little more bling in it. I'll try to hold this at an angle a little bit so you can see all the texture in this. But that is my, I'm calling it the Falling Snowflake card. And then on the inside, we have it all embossed. So, thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Everyone stay safe and healthy and happy. Goodbye.